Here's the angle. We're not just ranking these by drop rating. We're ranking by whether the case actually respects Pixelsnap alignment and glass screen protector clearance, because those are the two things that quietly ruin a good case after week 1. And I'll tell you now, the case that wins this list isn't a clean win. It comes with a compatibility catch you need to hear before you buy it. Number 5. TORRAS Q3 Air Magnetic Stand Case. We're starting with a case that has the best hardware on paper and the worst fit in practice. TORRAS built the Q3 Air around what they call Air Pro cushion technology, internal padding designed to absorb and spread out impact instead of transferring it straight to the frame, combined with raised edges around both the screen and the camera bar to keep them off flat surfaces. The stand is the actual selling point here. It's a 360-degree rotating kickstand that locks into both portrait and landscape angles, and TORRAS says it's compatible with Pixelsnap and general Qi 2/MagSafe style magnetic accessories, so car mounts, wallets, and magnetic power banks should all attach normally. TORRAS's broader Pixel lineup cites up to 18 newtons of magnetic holding force from what they call a Halbach magnet array, though that figure comes from their general product FAQ rather than a spec sheet tied to this specific case, so treat it as a brand claim, not a lab-verified number for this exact model. Here's the catch, and it's not a small one. This listing is built for the Pixel 11 Pro XL, not the standard Pixel 11 Pro. The camera bar depth and body dimensions are different between the two, which means if you've got the standard Pro, this case will not seat correctly. If your audience is running the regular Pixel 11 Pro, this drops from a strong pick to a hard pass on fit alone. It's the classic case shopping trap, a great product for the wrong phone. Best for Pixel 11 Pro XL owners who want a kickstand and don't mind confirming the exact device fit before checkout. If you want something that actually fits the standard Pro and keeps things transparent, this next one solves that exact mismatch problem. Number 4. FNTCASE Clear MagSafe-Compatible Case. This one is built specifically for the Pixel 11 and Pixel 11 Pro, no XL confusion, and it leans hard into the clear case category. FNTCASE uses what they describe as Bayer-sourced ultra-clear TPU and polycarbonate paired with a nano antioxidant coating meant to slow down the yellowing that ruins almost every budget clear case within a few months. Whether that coating actually outperforms a standard clear TPU case long-term is something only a multi-month side-by-side comparison can confirm, so file that under brand claims resistance, not proven immunity. The magnet setup is genuinely strong on paper. 38 individual N52 magnets rated at 2,400 grams force of holding power, which the listing describes as roughly 7 times stronger than an average case, though that comparison baseline isn't independently defined, so we're citing it as FNTCASE's own claim rather than a verified lab test. What is verifiable is the drop rating. FNTCASE lists 10-foot military-grade drop protection, backed by a rigid polycarbonate backplate, flexible TPU bumper edges, and 4 corner airbags. The camera and screen lips are modest, 2.5 millimeters around the camera, 1.5 millimeters around the screen bezel, which is enough raised clearance to keep a flat surface off the glass. But if you're the type who runs a premium edge-to-edge tempered glass protector, that thinner lip leaves less buffer than the rugged options later on this list. Button feel and port access are standard molded cutouts, precisely calibrated per the listing, though FNTCASE doesn't specify whether the buttons are independent floating covers or fused directly into the case shell, worth calling out on camera as a gap in the spec sheet rather than guessing. Best for buyers who want the Pixel's actual design visible and are fine with a case that trades some ruggedness for that transparency. If clarity isn't the priority and you'd rather carry your cards on the phone itself, the next pick swaps the whole form factor. Number 3. Oterkin Wallet Case with Kickstand. This is the only wallet case on the list, and it solves a completely different problem than the first two. It wants to replace your actual wallet, not just protect your phone. Oterkin builds in RFID and NFC blocking, rated to interfere with 13.56 megahertz signal scanning, the frequency most contactless credit cards and ID badges broadcast on. So it's doing real work against electronic skimming, not just marketing copy. The card storage holds 4 to 5 cards plus cash in built-in slots, and the kickstand is metal, embedded into the cover, and rated for over 30,000 open-close cycles in Oterkin's own testing, which lines up with the same durability benchmark most premium stand cases in this category cite. Drop protection is rated at 15 feet against a MIL-STD-810G benchmark, with 2mm raised corner airbags and silicone grip zones along the edges. Now, the honest catch, and it's a functional one, not just a nitpick, this case explicitly does not support wireless charging. The card slot design sits directly over where the charging coil would need to align, so if you're someone who tops off on a Pixelsnap charger or wireless pad daily, this case forces you into wired charging exclusively. That's a real trade-off for a wallet case, and it needs to be said before someone buys this expecting both. Pocket feel is on the bulkier side because of the card stack, so this isn't the case for someone who wants their phone to disappear into a jeans pocket. It's built for the person who wants to leave their actual wallet at home. Best for buyers who want to consolidate their wallet into their phone and are okay giving up wireless charging to do it. That wireless charging trade-off is exactly what the next case avoids. It keeps full charging function while adding a completely different kind of camera protection. Number 2. Dexnor full-body case with slide camera cover. Dexnor's approach here is built around one standout mechanical feature, a physical slide camera cover, a small panel that manually closes over the camera bar when you're not shooting. It's a mechanism you don't see on most cases in this niche, and it directly addresses camera glass scratching in a way that raised lips alone can't. A lip stops table contact, a sliding cover stops pocket lint and keys from ever touching the glass at all. The case ships with a built-in screen protector and 2 interchangeable front frames, plus a kickstand for hands-free viewing. Dexnor's broader case line is built around what they call full-body shock-proof construction, with a rigid backplate and shock-absorbing bumper edges, positioned as heavy-duty protection for people who are hard on their phones, hiking, job sites, kids' bags. Here's the transparency note. While Dexnor's Pixel 11/11 Pro case line is confirmed to exist and matches this product's description closely, I wasn't able to independently pull the exact Amazon listing page for this specific link during research, so treat the photos and exact color options as something to double-check once you're linking it, even though the core spec set checks out against Dexnor's verified product catalog. The honest catch with a built-in screen protector system like this: it's not compatible with your own separately purchased glass protector. Dexnor's instructions for this case style note you need to remove any existing tempered glass before snapping the frame on. So if you've already got a premium glass protector installed, you're choosing between Dexnor's included protection or your own, not both. Port cutouts and button response weren't detailed with enough specificity in the listing to confirm floating versus molded buttons, so that's a call for hands-on verification. Best for buyers who want built-in camera and screen protection in one box and don't already have a glass protector they're attached to. And that brings us to the case sitting in the winner's spot. But I need to be straight with you about it before we get into specs. Number 1. TONGATE Magnetic Stand Case. This is your top pick by list order, and on paper, the feature set is the strongest of the 5. A 360-degree spin magnetic stand built into the back, an N52 magnetic ring rated in TONGATE's comparable listings at around 18 newtons of holding force, tempered glass screen protection, some versions privacy tinted, some clear, and a rugged polycarbonate and TPU shell marketed as military grade. But here's the thing I have to flag before anything else. When I searched for this exact case across TONGATE's own site, Amazon, and third-party retailers, I could not find or confirm a version of this product actually listed for the Pixel 11 Pro. TONGATE's current magnetic stand case lineup covers
the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, Pixel 10 Pro, Pixel 10 Pro XL, and Pixel 10 Pro Fold. Every spec I just described comes from those confirmed listings, not from a verified Pixel 11 Pro product page. It's entirely possible TONGATE has released an updated version for the newest Pixel that just isn't indexed yet, but as of this recording, that couldn't be confirmed. If it turns out this is genuinely a Pixel 10 Pro generation case, being sold under a listing that doesn't match your device, the camera cutout and port alignment likely won't sit right, since Google shifted the camera bar depth between generations. This is the one case on this list where I'd tell you to physically check the listing's compatibility chart yourself before hitting buy, no matter how good the spec sheet reads. If the fit does check out for your exact Pixel 11 Pro, everything else about it lines up with what makes a strong daily driver case. Full port access, a flush stand that doesn't add pocket bulk, and magnetic strength in the same range as the strongest case on this list. Best for Buyers who specifically confirm Pixel 11 Pro compatibility on the listing first. This is a verify then buy pick, not a blind one. So here's how these 5 actually sort by what you need. If you're on the Pixel 11 Pro XL specifically, the TORRAS Q3 Air is your stand option. If you want the phone's design visible, FNTCASE's clear case is the move, keeping in mind the yellow-resistant coating is a claim to watch over time, not a guarantee. If you're trying to ditch your physical wallet, Oterkin does that job well but takes wireless charging off the table. If camera protection matters most to you, Dexnor's slide cover is the most mechanically interesting solution here. And if you're eyeing that TONGATE pick, confirm the listing says Pixel 11 Pro before you check out. Don't assume it from the product photos alone. Links to everything are below, in the same order we covered them. If this saved you from a return, drop a like and subscribe for the next round.